welcome to HEX Update Saturday for December 7th, 2013. I'm Jake Freedom, and here's what's happened this week. We had another patch rollout, patch 8.16b. There are still a few known issues that CZE is aware of, and basically they amount to sync errors, syncing issues, when certain cards are played. CZE has suggested that you don't play them at this time until they can correct that particular issue. Those cards include Counter Magic, Construction Plans Warhulk, Eldritch Shield, and Yesterday. I do have experience with the Eldritch Shield in a deck I was testing out. It's not a horrible sync issue, but the sync issue is there. And basically what happens is at the end of your turn, the game will try to sync itself with the actual backend servers, and it takes a while and sometimes can just fail, and you have to actually escape out of the game and concede. Let's see here. Some of the other general fixes that they did there is the AI will no longer hang when it has 8+ cards it needs to discard. Combat arrow animations now track when cards move during combat. Basically what they're talking about there is when you were attacking somebody and a card was removed prior to its attack, the highlighted blue animation wouldn't follow the card, and they've corrected that. The priority bar will now come back after you have viewed a graveyard. The globe no longer has a massive cloud cover. Chat has added tabs, but it's still work in progress. Chat has capitalizations again. They're still putting a lot of emphasis in chat. You know my feelings about that. I think they should just not worry about chat really and just fix the game. There's now an automatic space between your name and your chat. And the contrast issue with all the shard cards and some of the other cards, they have decreased that, so now they're not blinding when you look at them in game. Alright, some gameplay changes here. Champion portraits now fit the UI correctly when you select a champion. Wyatt the Sapper now has art when on the chain. The Diamond of Duty gem now works correctly. Let's see, reverting a card now correctly resets the damage on a troop. Rune Ear Commander no longer counts non-troops for its ability. Slaughter Gear Renegade War Factory now works correctly. And Shamed Gladiator now correctly deals 2 damage to the champion when you play him. Also, Frost Wizard no longer prevents games from starting, but it still doesn't quite work right. Let's see here. Some of the new cards they added. Twisted Fate, Sadistic Castigator, and Urunza. Urunaz. Let's see here. I think most of these are blood cards, and I wasn't particularly happy about this because blood, I think, is overpowered right now anyway. It has a lot of cards that have board clear and direct removal. Let's see if we can find them here. Let's see. Twisted Fate. Let's find that one here. Let's take a look at it. That might be in the Sapphire. Yep, okay, Twisted Fate. Here we go. It's a constant. When you draw a card, each opposing champion buries the top card of their deck. I kind of like that card. If you are kind of running a mill deck and you want to get your opponent's deck to get out of there so they don't have the ability to play the cards that they need, this would be a great card to have down. It works exceptionally well when you pair it with a card that every time you draw a card, the champion also draws a card. I forget. I think it's in the Ruby deck, and it's pretty much every time you draw a card, the champion draws a card, and then you have to discard a card. It works pretty well together. Let's see. Let's take a look at the other cards there. Sadistic. I think this is it here. Sadistic Castigator. Flight. When an opposing champion draws a card, they reveal it, deal damage to them equal to the card cost. 3 blood threshold, 6 cost for 3/4 with flight. Deal the damage. I'm not sure how much use that'll actually get, depending on what kind of deck I guess you're working with there. You never know. Let's see here. Now the next one. Alright, 7 cost, 3 threshold, flight. When I don't even know how to pronounce this. Uranaz enters player, deals combat damage to a champion. You may put target troop from the champion's graveyard into play under your control. 7 cost, 5/5. It's pretty powerful card. I think it's for what it does. I don't know if it's right. I guess maybe it's right around the bell curve of card costs and what they do. So, like I said, there are 2 blood cards and 1 sapphire card out of the new cards they added. They need to stop adding blood cards and do some of the other stuff to the other decks. I think they're lacking. Each deck does have its strengths and weaknesses, but I think overall the blood deck has the best cards for removal and things like that. So moving right along here, let's see, card manager. Cards in the card manager will now load in faster, which they do. That's great. List view in the card manager has had improvements to content layout. You no longer will get pink cards when spam clicking cards in the card manager. A third larger card view has been introduced into the card manager. I haven't seen that yet. I'm not sure what third view they're talking about. Oh, here we go. Here's what it is. They're talking about the views here. You get the details view, the card view, and then you have this this view here. It makes them a little easier to see what they are if you don't need to read the card text. And by now, I've memorized most of the cards, and well, not most of them, some of them, and I don't need to zoom in on them to see the actual card text. So that's kind of a nice view there. Let's see here. What else? A new community manager has been introduced. Dusty O'Brien, also known as Shaggy. He is the new community manager for HEX. Read a little bit about him on the Kickstarter page that he posted on there, and had some nice words to say there. If you want to go and check that out, I'll put a link in the description below. You can go ahead and read about him. Also, CZE is going to do less updates, meaning better quality updates. They've been trying to do like updates every day via the forums, and it's basically just, oh, we're doing this, we're working on this, so on and so forth, and they haven't really been quality updates, and they really don't do anything for anybody. So they've said they're going to stop doing the daily updates, and they're going to do updates, 3 times a week instead of every day. So hopefully the updates that they do give us will provide a better message of what's actually going on, and so it won't just be, hey, everyone is working this, that, and the other thing. So that's good. Other than that, that's about all that's happened over the past week there. So we'll go ahead and end the video there. If you liked it, go ahead and click subscribe, like it so other people can find it, leave a comment below, and I'll have another video for you soon.